seeing Chris training with knee braces on, elbow braces, stuff like that. Yeah, I give Conor a real chance.
I'm expecting revenge. I think Conor. I think both fighters put on an amazing performance. I think Junior left everything in the ring, and the conditions and the contractual conditions are exactly.
And he's going to be expected to go back to the same trenches that he went to last time, maybe this time deeper. And he's a brave guy, like he's got plenty of heart, and it will be a fantastic fight. The one I believe this time, Conor Benn will be.
And I just think that a little bit 6 months later, maybe better at the weight, with that experience of going 12 hard rounds with someone as good as Chris, who was naturally bigger, I think will give him a huge amount of confidence going in. So it may favour Conor round 13.
I honestly believe a stoppage, really, because watching Conor train and how so relaxed, his mindset is another level. He wasn't like that before. He was.
Conor's still got the ability to improve. He's still going through them ages of being able to develop and mature, take experience, where Eubank's at that stage of his life where he's probably...
Man, trust me. He doing his thing. He's did what he's supposed to do. He turned all the stones over to make sure that he's going to get that win.
But yeah, Conor's in good shape. It's not even like I'm worried about what Eubank. It's all about Conor to me. So it's not about me thinking, oh, he can do it. So you got to understand, calling Bomac.
In the rematch, Eubank Jr or Benn?
Conor Benn learns from the first fight, and he wins on points on Saturday night.
So you don't think Bomac's going to benefit Chris in any way?
I do think he'll benefit him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he can still stop. You can't keep Conor Benn up. But Conor Benn this time would use the experience that he gained from the first fight, and he'll pace the fight better. So he won't die in rounds 10, 11, and 12.
Tony Sims envisions Conor Benn stepping in sharper than ever, while Chris Eubank Jr. walks and carrying the weight of his last battle, drained of what once made him dangerous. And on that night, with Benn's precision cutting through the moment, Sims believes those refined skills could be the very edge that makes him the stronger, better fighter under the lights.
I believe that Conor Benn will follow suit in that. I don't believe Chris Eubank's got any more than he showed that night. At 35, I don't believe he's got anything more to give, and I believe that Conor technically will be a better fighter.
Carl Frampton sees revenge written all over this rematch, convinced Conor Benn takes it this time. To him, Eubank Jr. is still carrying the weight of that last brutal war, feeling it even harder now with age creeping in. And on fight night, Frampton believes those cracks give Benn both the physical fire and the mental edge to finally claim the moment as his own.
I say revenge. I think Conor Benn's going to beat Eubank this time. I feel like a fight. The last fight was unbelievable, but fights like that take something out of you, and at Eubank's age, it takes a little bit more out of you.
Chris Eubank Sr. fires back with force, standing firm for his son and insisting that Chris Eubank Jr. carries the same spark of greatness seen in legends like Manny Pacquiao. He argues that limits are born from rules, not from any shortage of talent, making it clear that Eubank Jr.'s ability in the ring isn't just real, it's undeniable.
What you're saying to me is that, oh, Chris Eubank can do that, but yes, he can.
Manny Pacquiao can do it. Look at them all. They've all done it.
But that is against the rules.
It's not though, is it? Otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it.
Paul Smith believes Conor Benn already proved he can hurt Eubank Jr. in their first clash, and he's confident Benn has the power to land those shots again. To him, Eubank looks like a man with little left to offer, while Benn's raw strength and relentless aggression could be the very force that tips the entire rematch in his favor.
I just think the way Conor Benn hurt him in that fight and could hurt him, I think Benn might have enough in there to do it, and I just think it's just because I just think Eubank's done, and I've said it since he fought my brother Lee.
Johnny Nelson doubts Chris Eubank Jr. has shown any real growth since their first encounter, hinting that the version we see now may not be enough to stop a driven Conor Benn. He believes Benn's steady improvement could hand him both the tactical edge and the physical upper hand when they meet again in the rematch.
From Chris, I saw no more improvement on what we've seen. And so in seeing that, I'm thinking the guys that are out there, you gotta, you know.
Peter Fury believes Conor Benn has grown from that first fight and can bring even more into the rematch. He points out how drained Chris Eubank Jr. looked while cutting weight last time and questions whether he can reach that same level again. And in the midst of all that uncertainty, Fury sees this showdown shaping into a razor-thin 50-50 battle.
Ben can do more, and he's going to learn from it, the first one. So, and Eubank looked drained at that weight. I'm surprised he's gone in again for the same weight, same rules, because you could see he looked like he was struggling to get to that weight, and it showed in there at times. So I think it's a 50-50.
Duke McKenzie is certain Chris Eubank Jr. gets the win again, pointing out that Eubank is operating at a career best while coming in at welterweight. He believes the psychological boost of facing a smaller opponent only strengthens Eubank's position, and in his eyes, Ben simply didn't do enough in their first meeting to deserve the victory.
I'd be shocked if Eubank loses. I don't really see that happening. Again, he's fighting a career best welterweight. He knows that. From a psychological perspective, when you know you've got a smaller guy in front of you, you kind of start 2 or 3 rounds up in your own mind. So, like I say, when you look at the fight, it wasn't close enough to warrant...
Gareth A. Davey sees Chris Eubank Jr. taking this one on points again, leaning on his sharp jab and steady fundamentals to control the fight. He believes Conor Benn would have to drag the bout into a wild, roughhouse brawl to shake Eubank off his rhythm. And with Bo in Eubank Jr.'s corner, Davies feels he walks in with both the tactical edge and the mental calm needed for a high-stakes rematch like this.
I think Eubank on points again, 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4, which is what I had it first time. I think Conor Benn's got to make it a dogfight, make it a roughhouse brawl again. But I think Eubank will start with that jab very strong.
Ipo believes this rematch becomes even more compelling now that both men fully understand the danger in each other's punches. He sees Ben pushing harder after realizing he can hurt Eubank Jr., while Eubank's age lingers as a quiet factor in the background. And with all that tension building, Oladipo expects pure excitement and a packed, roaring arena at Tottenham.
Ultimately, in the end, sort of bigger guy won it. The rematch is going to be interesting, I think. He's now realised that I can hurt that fighter. I've felt the other fighter's power. Next time, I know what's coming. I think he might even do better in the next one. I think he's got a shout to win it.
And Eubank's older.
I get these fights, but you do want to see Ben. Can you kick on to try and win?
Adam Smith suggests that a win for Chris Eubank Jr. could reignite his career, opening the door to a potential world title in 2026. He points out that Conor Benn walks in confident, fueled by what he proved in their first fight, turning this rematch into a high-stakes, emotionally charged battle for both men.
Fight, and I think Eubank Jr., if he gets this win and there's a new lease of life maybe under Bomac, 2026, maybe finally he could become a world champion, but he's got to get past Conor Benn first. And Conor Benn, not just hungry for revenge, he believes he can win this because of what happened first time round, because he went 12 rounds at middleweight, up in class, after a long layoff. Some people fancy Benn.
Chris Eubank Jr. knows the rematch will be brutal as he gears up to go 12 rounds with Conor Benn. He stresses the need to stop Benn, capturing the fierce intensity fans crave, yet he keeps a clear-eyed perspective. There are no extra rewards for pushing beyond what the fight demands.
Easy, but it's funny because my job is to go out there and stop this guy. Going to war for 12 rounds, which people love to see, it may not happen, you know. We don't get paid for overtime. Either way, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun fight.
Hamza Sherez predicts Conor Benn will take the win inside 6 rounds, pointing to the toll that making weight will exact on Chris Eubank Jr. He highlights how grueling their first fight was and warns that this rematch could be even tougher physically, giving Benn the edge if he strikes early and keeps the pressure relentless.
What's your prediction, Ben or Eubank?
I've got Conor Benn to win inside 6 rounds. I feel like the weight will affect Eubank too much from how it affected him before as well. And it was a hard fight. It wasn't an easy fight. yeah, Conor Benn to win inside about.
Duke McKenzie hails the first fight as more than just a boxing match. It was an event, a spectacle. He points to the electric atmosphere, the roaring fans, and the record-setting live gate that set a standard few fights can touch. McKenzie's view highlights how both Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn delivered a show that transcended the sport itself. With the rematch on the horizon, expectations are sky high, and he reminds us that the stakes go far beyond the result in the ring. They're about legacy, drama, and the unforgettable spectacle of two warriors in front of a passionate crowd.
Like I say, the fight wasn't a letdown because it was a good fight, but as an event, you won't get a better event than that, and they'll have to go some actually to surpass that, or even equal that. Let's just hope they get the same turnout in terms of the numbers, people going through the live gate and watching that fight, because it was a great event. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. You won't get world title fights that actually are a better.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes that Conor Benn has the heart and courage, but in this rematch, boxing intelligence will make all the difference. He warns that charging and blindly won't work against a sharp fighter like Chris Eubank Jr. Benn must blend aggression with strategy, anticipate counters, manage the pace, and conserve energy. Hearn's insight makes it clear. Experience and tactical skill could decide this fight as much as raw power. This rematch promises to test both men mentally and physically, with Eubank Jr. ready to seize control if Benn overreaches.
You have to follow the weight classes. You have to follow directions and orders, and that's why we have weight classes. For 1 pound makes a huge difference. I mean, this guy was almost fainting trying to make.
Dave Coldwell questions whether Chris Eubank Jr. can match the intensity he showed in their first fight. He notes that while Eubank may lean on the same tactics, the real test is sustaining that level under pressure. Coldwell's view underscores the immense physical and mental demands of facing Conor Benn, suggesting this rematch could push Eubank Jr. to his limits. Fans should brace for a brutal, tactical battle where endurance, preparation, and smart adjustments, not past glory, will determine who walks away victorious.
And I don't think at this stage Eubank can do a lot more else. He'll try and do what he did, on fight night. It's whether he can go to the well again. I don't think so. If the fight becomes as hard and if it's as the pace and ferocity of a first fight, I'd be very surprised and I'd be amazed if Eubank can do.
Tony Bello critiques Chris Eubank Jr.'s technical skills, arguing that Conor Benn holds a clear edge in fighting ability. He warns that Eubank Jr.'s self-image as a masterful boxer could backfire, as mental overconfidence can slip into performance. This sets up a tense rematch, pitching Eubank not just against Benn's power, but his sharp, precise technique. Fans can expect a showdown where Benn's calculated boxing meets Eubank Jr.'s strength and resilience, a true test of skill, strategy, and mindset inside the ring.
Conor is a far better fighter than Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer. Technically, yeah. And that's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. is having. He's got this thing in his mind, he's a masterful boxer. No, you're not. No. I'm sorry, no, you're not.
George Groves believes Conor Benn has a shot at an upset, but he highlights the mental edge Chris Eubank Jr. carries from headlining a stadium and defeating a top rival before a roaring crowd. That experience, Groves notes, gives Eubank Jr. a confidence few can match. Physically, he might be past his peak, but mentally, he remains a formidable force. This adds a deep psychological layer to the rematch. Benn will need to conquer not just the punches, but the unwavering belief and legacy Eubank Jr. brings into the ring.
I think maybe Conor Benn beats him. I think if I was Eubank, my point was at the time, I was like, mate, you have just climbed your Everest. You've just headlined a stadium. You've beat what is now a rival. Spectacular fashion in terms of getting the win with your dad by your side and all the hooting and hollering that went on amongst it. You can't top that feeling. I don't begrudge you if you want to earn more money out of the sport, but be careful because you look way.
The Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn rematch is far more than a fight. It's a collision of skill, heart, and legacy. On one side, Eubank Jr. brings experience, precision, and a tactical mind honed from headlining a stadium and claiming a career-defining victory. On the other, Ben carries youth, relentless aggression, and the belief he can exploit Eubank Jr.'s past struggles. A win for Ben could redefine his career, while another shock from Eubank Jr. would cement his place among the sport's greats, who will command the ring and the mental pressure. Tune in and watch the drama unfold, and tell us in the comments who you think will triumph.